Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. We're going to for today's video. The beer's courtesy of Sierra Hotel. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. It's a Monkish triple, too, and I don't think I've ever had a triple from Monkish. And I've heard, actually, from quite a few people that they do triple IPAs very well. So I'm very excited about this. So it's called Ante Meridiem Cats. Cool can art. And it's somewhere, yeah, I was going to say, I know the ABV's on here. 10.2% ABV. Drink freshy. I'm going to guess this is where I want it in terms of a triple IPA. I kind of like to let them sit for a bit. So I don't know super how fresh it is, but I bet for me this is where I want it, because if you don't know this about me, in this style, if I can taste any alcohol, no thank you, you know? It just, big stouts, things like the barley wines, I love having a little bit of an alcohol taste, but not IPA stuff. So, I don't mind letting them sit for a bit. If I remember correctly, there was a little bit more head when I poured it, but given the higher ABV, I guess I'm not surprised there's not a ton there. This beautiful mix of like deep orange, almost like towards brown, but then there's a good amount of yellow in there as well. Hazy plus, not quite full-on butternut squash soup, but more approaching that. It does look like a pretty thick beer, a little milky when I do that on the side of the glass. A little bit of lacing spots. Let's see, just do it the proper way. Yeah, some legs, pretty clear legs, and yeah, some lacing. Okay, I'm actually surprised given ABV that there's that much lacing. I know there's not a lot, but I'm a little bit surprised. The legs don't surprise me. Hey man, we're watching the review. We know what it looks like. Tell us what it smells and tastes like. All right, well, let's get into that aroma. Man, I like that. Immediately, I should say, not initially, immediately. But I'm having a hard time picking out a few things, because there are some very familiar elements to this that are a little bit outside my normal, vocabulary word box, where you're like, oh yeah, it's this, it's this, it's this. You kind of say a lot of the same things, or say a lot of the same stuff often. And this has some of that. Orange, a little bit of almost like orange creamsicle. It's got this, I've been getting peach a lot in beers like this. This has a little bit more specifically that peach ring citric acid kind of thing. Apricot, mango. Very sweet orange. I don't get a lot of orange zest. I get very sweet orange juice. And again, almost creamsicle at times. There's a slight vegetal thing. A little dank, but like vegetal, where I think this beer is so saturated with hops that I'm still getting a little bit of the vegetal piece of the hops. I think that's what it is, yeah, which is kind of cool. It's a good element. I've had it before. What was the one recently? It was the deep fried beer that I had, where it was just so hop saturated you couldn't help but get the fact, because it's so funny, we talk about all these fruit elements that hops can kick out. I know they can kick out other things besides fruity elements. You forget it's vegetal. It's more like that is what it is. So it's kind of interesting to get it. I am rambling on about that nobody cares about. Let's see about the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Sierra Hotel. I hope you're doing well. Hey, that rhymes. That is really good. Wow. And this, okay, right, to have that quick conversation, triple IPAs better drink big, right? Like, they better have big flavor, or why wasn't it just a double IPA? Why am I drinking more alcohol, more calories, etc., etc.? This drinks up for sure. Really nice mouthfeel. What's interesting is the viscosity of the beer is kind of nectarish, but the flavors are more juicy and real fruit-like, which is cool. Hides the alcohol, which, as I was saying before, is key for me, so I really appreciate that. The sweet orange definitely comes through. The peach, I gotta go back in and see if I want to stick with the peach ring thing versus more actual peach taste. A little bit of apricot, some mango. Yeah, for sure. You know what it has too? You're going to think I'm a little crazy. I don't know if I've ever said this before in a beer like this. Like cucumber water. Like it has this refreshing element, and it maybe more unripened honeydew, if that makes sense. Does that leap seem pretty far, cucumber to underripened honeydew melon? Like a very water, not that this beer is watery, please don't misunderstand me, but like the unripenedness of the honeydew melon, you know? So like it has a flavor, like cucumbers have a flavor, but they're very water heavy, you know? So that element is not particularly sweet, which I think is why I'm initially thinking cucumber, but the more I'm thinking on it, it might be very underripe honeydew melon. This flavor, I mean, it just bursts. Wow. It's a very impactful sip. It makes this a little hard because it's such a flavor bomb. And not that it goes away super quickly, but because it's almost like shocking. It's like, whoa, like there's a bunch of stuff going on. And it's hard to start pinpointing. Like so much of my reviews are like this is making me think of similar flavors, and then you kind of get an idea of what this beer tastes like. Bye everyone, kind of a thing, right? And also, do I like it or not or whatever. But this one's a little harder to dissect because of that big explosion, but definitely a sweet orange. It's that stuff I was saying before, but there's at least one or two other things that are very familiar, and it's very frustrating to me that I'm not easily pulling them right now. That creamsicle, like I got in the aroma, hits very briefly. A candied lemon peel element. So as much as I'm getting orange juice and not orange zest, some of the lemon is zesty, but in a candied way. Almost like lemon heads, maybe, if that's more like something I'm just trying to think of stuff people would have that would be in the ballpark. Not quite citric acid like Smarties or Flintstone Vitamin. It's not that like I was thinking maybe it would be with the aroma. Well, there's a little minerality to it. That's one of the familiar things. There's a little bit of a minerality. Certainly what they're doing with their water, I think, is coming through, which is cool. A little bit more zesty and pithy in the aftertaste. Oh, going back to the peach ring thing, it's a little bit more peach taste, like actual peach than I was getting the aroma. So that's cool. Switches up a little bit from the aroma to the taste from me there. This is great. This is a really nice, nicely made triple IPA. I am impressed. I see why people rave about Monkish's triple IPAs. This is really good. So again, Sierra Hotel, I really appreciate the opportunity to try this, and certainly to do it proper and have a proper review where I can really wrap my mind around it. Because again, it was hard. It's just such a big burst of flavor. So well done there. If anyone from Monkish is watching, kudos, well done. This beer is fantastic. Have you guys had this one before? Have you had a triple IPA from them? Different one? Have you had something else from Monkish you want to tell me about? A triple IPA from someone else you want to tell me about? Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.